We'll walk round compound, see some tigers, then hopefully hear... Richard Parker, get out of here. No, I appreciate your assistance, but it's it's not necessary. Thank you very much. All right, let's try this again. Okay, here we go. This is much closer than what I've been able to get in previous days, because yeah, this guy right here, of course it's always this guy reacting to, you know, that girl. Hold on. Yep. Over the top. Ooh. Interesting perspective. But I am being a little bit more subdued because it's still not like 100% tippy top right now. So I'm not gonna be coming around like their space and just being like, "Hi, cats! Whoa! We're gonna have a wacky time." That would just be, that'd be bad. That would be bad. Visitors. Hello, I'm beautiful. Look at you. Oh, oh, pretty girl. Look at there. Yeah, what a pretty girl. What a good girl. She's like, yes, I am. I am both pretty and good. Therefore, I deserve all of the food. All of the food. All of it. Hey, bud. Hey, bud. Yeah? You doing better? He's like, I don't know what came over me those past couple of days. I wanted to just kill things. You in particular, Derek. I did. And I'm like, I know, I remember. Yeah. Yeah, you know, well, you know, hey, bygones and bygones, you know. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know, a lot of my friends just want to murder me. I gotta forgive that, you know. I wonder at what point does it become enabling? At what point does it stop me being just a good and understanding friend, and then am I just enabling that in them? Hi, Ace. Hi, bud. What? What? You come over here to say hello, and then you decide to give me the stink. You decide to give me the stinkness. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. We have we have a complicated relationship. Ace and I. He is an old man. Old man Ace. Yeah. 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 Oh. Hello, all you big cat lovers out there. It's me, Derek, again. Welcome to another super duper fantastic episode of the Walk Around the Compound webcast. I'm filming this webcast before feed time, waiting for a cow delivery. So I thought that I might be able to just kind of pop on the old cameras, get something going. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. And then I'm gonna get up, and then she's gonna be like, ah, of course. You're so predictable. You're so predictable. She's like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going away. Leave me alone. Hello? Hello? Are there tigers in here? excuse me. She's like, ah, damn it. Shh. What about you? What if I get up really quick like this? Nope. Same tricks don't work. She's like, I've been watching, and I'm young, and what is it? You can't teach an old tiger, you know, new ways to kill stuff. I think that's how the saying goes. Either way. Hi. Hi, Shanti. Hi, Miss Shan Shan. Hi, Miss Shan Shan. Oh, looks like she was kind of giving old Papa a bit of a stare down. Hold on, Mister. Hold on. I saw Bobby. Oh, look at this little prince. Look at that little Bobby prince. Nice. Hi, beautiful. Hi, baby. Hi. Oh, look, she's got a little teeny purr box. Little purr motor. One of those, you know, it's not like, maybe like the Cougars. They've got like a good, maybe like a 125 horsepower. You know, like flatbed motor. But then like Bobcats, maybe they've got like one of those little shallow kind of trawler motors. Oh my gosh. Well, what kind of motors do tigers have? Tigers don't purr. Tigers don't have motors. Trick question. Whoa. There was another tiger here this entire time. Actually, wait a minute. That was Naya. This is Shanti. Oh my gosh, I'm still getting these girls mixed up. I'm so embarrassed. She's like, it's okay. It's okay. We get ourselves mixed up sometimes too. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense at all. We're tigers. Doesn't have to make sense. You feeling good today? Are you feeling good today, Naya? She's like, does this answer your question? Feeling good. Aw, that's great. Okay, now we're gonna get to Pop Pants. One at a time, Solano. One at a time. Hi, Bowie. Hi, mister. Oh, I know. See, Polly still gets up and he still gets around. But, I mean, he's still got impressive pee capacity. Bless you. His pee ability is still very strong. Very strong. But, think that he's starting to slow down a little bit more considerably. You might be able to tell just some of the ways that he's walking. I think that maybe his joints are starting to get a little bit goofed up. I mean, here's the thing, he's 18 years old. I mean, you know, yeah, he gets medicine, and there's only so much that you can do for an animal that is as advanced as he is. Excuse me. Yes. Can I help you, sir? Hi. Oh, thank you very much for that input. Thank you very, very much. So, yeah, this is one of those kind of things where you gotta kind of, you know, start kind of talking. Alright? I hate it when we have to talk. Can't we just pretend that the cats live forever? No. No, we can't do that. I'm sorry. That was an impressive pea spray, bud. That was an impressive pea spray. And, it's just, this is, again, and I've talked with Heidi, and yeah, just we've seen cats in the past, and like they get old, and then okay, this is kind of like the timeline. They start to kind of wobble a bit, and then they start to their strength starts to go. It's the same kind of with people, and there's no hard and fast like science. A lot of times when you make a prediction about like how much more gas a tiger has left in the tank, it can often be a little bit more intuition and art as opposed to just kind of hard facts. Well, like I said, we kind of have to start you have to start kind of thinking about that. And yeah, he might might not make it to the end of seasons. We've been wrong before. And like I said, his demeanor's great. And his spirit is great. And he just wants to do stuff. And he wants to just continue to keep on exploring on things and peeing on stuff. Which is good. And he wants to whisper at people, and that's good. But I don't. And you wanna moo at people. Yes, you do. You do. You wanna moo at the world. I will give my moos to the world that will heal. That will heal the wounded hearts. Hi, Shadow. Oh, Bobby. I saw Cassie around here somewhere. She was doing a thing. Yeah, we've got a few like old. I mean, not just like hey, kind of getting up there cats. Like they're old. Like Ace is old and Paul is old. Chompers is old. But at this point, it's good. It's kind of, and Ace probably he can maybe last a bit longer just because he's just got smaller frame, and generally speaking, like smaller animals. Sass. That's all you're getting. Yeah, she squeaked. All right. Mia. Get out of here. Mister, get out of here. Malo. Me. Malo. No. Hi. Hey. Had some really interesting thing happen recently, and this is actually more kind of like centered around like stuff that happened to Heidi. So I'm going to be relaying things that she told me, and then adding my own 2 cents to that, and it has to do with care. It has to do with the facility, and it has to do with the vibe here, and how this place is different than other places. And sometimes you'll get people that come and they visit, or they want to be a part of the organization, And maybe they have experience with other organizations, and they also have experience with the tone and the culture of the different places, because each place, each facility has its own identity, its own ideological leaning, and for the most part, everyone's kind of pointed in the same direction. And when you add all of the different elements together, there tend to be more things that are similar than different, but some of the things are rather ideologically different, and that can create rifts between organizations. And it can create, it's like we've got organizations that we've got really great diplomatic relations with, that people, we send them back and forth, and we communicate and we talk, and it's really great. And then there are others that are just kind of like, where I wouldn't say that it's like we kind of we fly under the radar, and we don't necessarily have a lot of interaction with other places. And it may be more because maybe some of them don't want to. That's kind of beside the point that I'm trying to make. Sometimes you'll get people, and it's really interesting to get the insight of a person who has the experience of what the culture of one place is like versus the culture of the place that you happen to be at. Because again, it's like it's easy to sit there and say like, we're here and this is the best, because people get territorial, they get tribal. For whatever it is. I mean, like, it could be sports teams. Like my Magic the Gathering club is way better than the one at the comic book store up the road. Those guys are dicks. You know what I'm saying? And people are, they're tribal as far as stuff like that is concerned. So it's always interesting when you hear about like what someone can kind of say, and especially if they have like positive things to say, and that did happen. That there was someone who they were very moved by just the feel at care, and also at the level of hi baby, the bond that Heidi had with the cats. They got to go around, they got to see her like interacting one-on-one, and like just saying like, this is amazing, this is different, this is very different than anything that I've experienced before. There's much more of like a really, it's a connection that is, it's a deep, it's hard to put my finger, because it's like I've been at other places where yes, the cats are affectionate, of course they can be affectionate at these other places, but here it's different. It's like there's a real, there's a bond, and I think that's a huge testament to, I think like the culture that Heidi has built, and the facility, and it's not just like, there's so much that goes into like the culture of a place, like care. Oh, this old guy's getting up. He's another one. Choppers is another one. I think that he might be on some steroids right now. You saw that little limp that he had. Again, he's old. He's 18. So Choppers is another one where, the sand in his hourglass might be pretty limited. And Choppers and Kanapali both are cats that, like, well, I guess I'll just say I'll be surprised if either one of them makes it to fall. I'll say I'll be surprised. Okay, that's the timeline that I'm personally giving it. I've been wrong before. But It's something I just want you to focus. I do want you to think about. That bud. He still gets up. That's why it's important. If he chooses to get up and come and see you, he is consciously making that choice. He is coming to see you, and you better stop. And you better say hi. Because he is not going to do that for anyone. And he only has so many times that he can still do that. So each time is very special. It's very special. Hey, bud. I missed her. Nano. Nano, Nano. Hi. Hi, Derpy. I saw you with your little blep tongue, kind of derping about. But yeah, I've had some the conversations I've had recently with Heidi, and we kind of were talking about some of this stuff. Just how we how we are, and then also how we try to kind of publicly define ourselves. And yeah, what is this? What is this? What is this? What are you doing? But there's so many things that kind of go into creating the vibe of a place like this, and it's like a secret sauce of sorts, and it's a combination of training people, of socializing animals, of the right types of food that you feed, the location. We're in the country, and this is it's an isolated location. It's peaceful. Also, and like Heidi, she's made it very clear. She does not want to have this place open every day. We only do tours on the weekends. So whoa, it almost fell. So more days than not, the cats just get to just exist, and they get to just hang out, and they get to do their thing. And then they get visitors, and they like visitors, but they don't want to be inundated with visitors. You know, it's like you don't want someone in your house like all the time. People can wear out their welcome, and it becomes too much. So we like it to where visitors are a positive thing. They're a happy thing. But if they happen all the time, they're not going to be that positive or that happy. And some people, some places do a good job of balancing that out. I'm not going to sit there and try to disparage the places that do, but it's like that's a choice that we've chosen not to, and you can kind of the relative just kind of just how the kitties don't mind kind of just doing their thing and being themselves, and also like the mentoring. There's so much mentoring that goes into those individuals who choose to become volunteers, or they choose to become interns at this organization. It's not just like, okay, we have to go through the checklist. And yes, there are certain hard and fast things that we train people as far as like, okay, these are our safety procedures, and count the kitties, and this is how you butcher cows, and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. But we have people, it's like, in order to be kind of part of the care club, you do have to adopt a certain mindset, a certain ethos. And it's just part of the culture. And that culture then translates to like the positive vibe that then gets absorbed by the residents. That's an important thing. How often they get fed, and how they get talked to. And how, of course, and like Heidi said, and she said something to me today, and it was actually it was a really great, because I've talked before about, okay, this is why we don't go inside the enclosures, and this is why, because there's a spectrum, okay? There's a spectrum of big cat facilities, and some are way over on one side of things, and they want to. What's going on over here? Mita Pita, She's like, I'm kind of in my corner. Just kind of taking a snooze. She's taking a snooze in her snooze corner. In her snooze corner. But there's a spectrum of facilities where on one side of the spectrum you'll have facilities who they're very much so they want to just, they kind of want to point a finger and they want to say like, well, you need to be like this and this and these are the types of rules, and you can only be a sanctuary, you can only be considered a sanctuary if you follow this and this and this rule. And it can be a very sterile environment, and of course it's regulatory. And I'm not going to try to sit there and say that, oh, having rules and having guidelines that you adhere to, it's a good thing. I'm not trying to say that, but it does, sometimes you get so lost in that it does, I think it can detract from the environment that you're trying to cultivate. I mean, there are some places that they try to, recreate the wild environment as much as possible. So what they'll do is that they will very actively not allow their volunteers, their staff, or anyone to interact with their animals. People aren't allowed to talk. Like I'm doing with Tess, right? Like, hi Tess, hi baby. Like, they're not even allowed to do that. Which we think that's just really crazy. These animals are in captivity. Captivity is what they know, and I don't know. Like, it's great to try to capture their wild behaviors, and also to try to enrich their wild instinctual proclivities. But they're not in the wild. They're just not. And they can't go to that. So we've got to try to keep the gears inside of their brains oiled and moving. And a big part of that we do here is to talk to them and to interact with them and have close bonded relationships with them. And have like a degree of... like a degree of togetherness, of intimacy. Not like, oh, let's light some candles. Like, no, like, just being close. And like sharing hearts. And that goes so far into how well these cats can psychologically be adjusted. And how happy they are. And then people, it's like they come to this place and then they see it right away. And it looks like it just simply exists, but it's an effort. It's a concerted effort from so many people. So many people have to come together. Our interns and our staff and the volunteers. And that's a culture that is spearheaded by Heidi. I mean, she is the driving force behind that. She's the one who she's the moral compass of that and all that this is. And like so many people, like, oh my gosh, like I love Derek, I love your videos, and I love to watch like this stuff, but I'm just capturing the magic that this place is. That's it. It's fairly easy. Just, know how to read the cats and don't stick your fingers anywhere pointy. Point and click. There you go. I'm a content creator. No, I'm not gonna. Don't sell yourself short. You have different contributions. I get it, I do, but it's like the credit where credit is due. I mean, what Heidi has done is remarkable, and like I say, and you've seen some instances of this in the past, and of course, like Heidi's like, I don't need to be on camera. because I actually have work to do, unlike some people. But whenever she does allow herself to be filmed, or whenever I'm just kind of surreptitiously doing it. Oh, are you excited? I know it's close to food time. She's excited. I think that, yeah, she's seeing the girls are coming up. I know it's close to food time. It's close to food time. But there's a cow that still has to come yet. Still has to come. So it's a little bit longer. But you see the bond that Heidi has. I've shown it in different videos in the past, and it's magical. It is. It's so amazing. How the cats just, they really respond. Not just with, hey, I just met you, this is crazy, but here's my number. It's not just like it goes beyond just like simple, just like, hey, I think you're kind of neat, I like you, and I just want to be affectionate. It really goes into like this, like, mom, and like I have very deep feelings, and I'm okay expressing those feelings. That's the other thing. It's like the cats feel safe and comfortable enough to express that, to express those feelings. And yeah, so there are places who may want to try to hijack the word sanctuary, and they will, and they'll try to sit there and say like, well, only real sanctuaries adhere to blah and blah and X and A and B type rules. So under their self-imposed definition, in many ways, like, oh yeah, I guess CARE's not, like, this facility is not a, it's not a sanct, but you know what, they don't own that word. If you open up the dictionary, look at these cuties. I think someone would find a hard, I think someone would be hard pressed to not say that CARE is absolutely one of these. It fits under that definition. And I think that's going to be also reflected. Oh my gosh. We're going to be doing some different overall, well, I say we, but like Heidi and this new group that we're going to be working with, we're going to be kind of overhauling the carerescuetexas.com website. And I think with that also is going to be a tonal shift. That's actually, it's going to be more true to like who we are. And like what, and you folks know, like what, look at these guys, look at these guys, look at them. And you folks know, you know, like times where, I know that there's been different times where, well, let's see if we can try to, you know, sit with that other clique of kids at the lunchroom table, and then it's like you try to kind of, you know, mold yourself a little bit, and you try to kind of publicly kind of, you know, wear certain clothes and dress yourself up in a certain way, and then you may not necessarily get chosen to sit at that cool kids table regardless, no matter what you do. And then in the meanwhile, you've kind of compromised. It seems like maybe like, okay, well, you're kind of posing. And it's like, all right, well, that's silly. Let's just be us, and realize that yes, and acknowledge the spectrum. That okay, there's this end, and then there's also the other far side where, yeah, people they want to go inside the enclosures and they want to do all this really dangerous and crazy, and it gets a lot of attention, but it's like they can act really irresponsibly, and it's like there's facilities on one side that they basically want to rank and file, and they want to make a sterile environment, and they want to control what the definition of sanctuary is. And then there's other places that are like, they can be like roadside menageries and just really. But here's the thing, like those are two extreme ends of a spectrum, and care is kind of we're not either one of those. We're not either one of those. Like we do self-police. We have rules. We have a very strong code of ethics that drive who we are. But at the same time, we do think that it is very important to foster good and positive relationships with our animal residents. But that doesn't necessarily mean like, going in and rolling around with adult animals and doing this stuff. Oh, also, look at this. Look at this. Right? Huh? Yes. Look at what has been done. Big changes. We've been adding some stuff, some platforms, and look at they like it. They like you very much. Yes, indeedy they do. We got some lemur platforms, and they are very pleased with them. They were like, yes, please, and thank you very much. But, so when I say like a tonal shift, I think like trying to capture, like that's, like trying to be like true to who we are, and trying to acknowledge that because that's the other thing, like some of the places that I'm describing, basically they say like, okay, if you're not on either this extreme or this extreme, like if you're not on this, like completely with us over here, then you are obviously with them way over there. And it's the same, if you're not with us all the way over here, then you're obviously with, it's like, it's so silly. We're just gonna do our thing. We're gonna be ourselves. We're gonna make our own cool kids table with blackjack and hookers. I think that, and I'm getting a bit long, but I think that this was a good, important topic to kind of touch upon, so I don't mind going a little bit long, and I hope that you don't mind that I went a little bit long on this, but I want to talk a little bit about what Heidi told me today, and I've talked before, and I was going to make this point, and I kind of went on to a different tangent because I had to finish another point, so I'm going to finish the original point now. But anyway, shut up, Derek. Just actually get to the point. Heidi was talking to me today about the nature of, because she used to do stuff. She, like, way back in the day, she used to do just, pretty wild kind of Wild West stuff, She's got a lot of stories to tell. And, so she knows what goes into stuff like that, and like kind of even like when the whole going in with these guys, and she was talking about how it is imperative on us to especially like once they reach maturity and once they reach adulthood, because that's when they have those instinctual kind of things that kind of turn, that they turn on, they flip on. But territoriality is a very real thing with these guys. It's a very sacred thing. And like that's their space. And they see that, they define that as their space. And even if they're in a little, in their transport cage or whatever, like, this is my space. This is mine. And this is not mine. This is yours, and then this is mine. And this here, this fenced area, this is neutral. This is neutral. And I can choose to come over here and meet you in that neutral territory, and that's okay. And sometimes I'm going to choose to do that, and sometimes I'm going to choose to stay where I am. Maybe I'm having a weird day. Maybe I'm just not feeling it. Maybe I'm a little bit cranky. Maybe I just don't trust things right. And it's just whatever. But I need you to always respect inside this, which is mine. That's why we always put them into their transport, into their lockdown areas. We don't just go in and clean up and just have like one person with a rake just which happens at some places. I'm just saying. But this is their space, and it's kind of like, you know, like the whole like, Dad, like, get out of my room kind of thing. When you're you know, a teenager going into adulthood, like, you need your own private area. That is for good psychologic well-being. You need your own space to just think and just kind of be, and that's it. And they're the same way. And yes, I've talked a lot before about, like, okay, well, we don't go in there because they can put holes in us. And, you know, I know that there's a lot of different things that I've had to learn over these, and I'm still learning. There's a lot of stuff, even in, like, the early days of some of my content that, you know, it kind of maybe showed, like, a lack of forward thinking. But I guess also, like, having to create content, and then, like, I put in all of this stuff out to the internet, to the world, to then be scrutinized. It did cause a lot of, like, my own convictions and my own beliefs to then, you know, be put to the test, and it caused, like, a rapid kind of maturing process. So I will say that that's been ultimately, overall, a very good thing, very positive thing. But yeah, the culture, you know, it's the vibe of the facility, and it's not just one little thing, you know. There's so many things. Again, the training, the mentoring, the psychological consideration, the enrichment, the food, the location. It's just small pieces of a larger equation. And it equals this place. And unless you're kind of in it, you might not necessarily, like, be able to recognize the component pieces. But like this individual did, when this individual was in the facility and was seeing Heidi, they said, like, I see it and I feel it. And that was pretty cool. That's a testament to what Heidi has done and what she's built. So, yeah. All right. I think that dinner time's going to be here pretty soon. So, I got to get going. Thanks for watching. All right, bye-bye.